And perfect. Time to remove all exclusions. And there you are. I was wondering. Well, still a chance to die in Vaults 5, I guess, even against just this one son of a gun. Manifold Assault is still my best bet, I think. So we'll just start slamming. Just need one more hit. There we go. Hoping that was the last enemy on the floor, but we'll still make sure to continually launch into statue form just in case I'm incorrect about that. There we go. Vaults 4 out of the way, or Vaults 5 rather. That's the one. Let's fix our hair again. Just from the pressure of the vaults area, everything was standing on end. But okie dokie. That means there's not much more to do right now, except maybe it's time to check out our abyss. Get that 5th rune down. So transmutations and air magic both coming up a decent way. Stormform is finally back over 51%. I'm debating getting rid of the mutation we have. It's a bit of a waste because I don't really want to get rid of the antenna or the strength. Both of these are just fine in my book. But I would rather have my spells be more powerful, I think. We'll see, we'll see. Before we get to that, let's do another recalibration now that we're through a fairly high experience area. Can definitely get Maxwell's capacitive coupling going, though I don't know how much we'll be casting that in the Abyss itself. What will be useful in the Abyss? IMB is relatively low mana and allows us to just shove enemies off, give us the space that we might need to survive. Nothing else is truly jumping out at me. If we could have something like Spellforge Servitor, that might be nice as a really kind of mana efficient solution to some of the scarier threats that we run into down there. But for the most part, don't need much. Maybe I'll even learn Passage of Galubria. Does that even work in the Abyss? Regardless, let's learn it just in case we need an escape sometime in our future. And to go to the Abyss, I like to use the Find command. Get yourself a map to the closest gateway. Let's head there, shall we? Can step just outside of our gate. We will not need magic mapping where we're going. We will not need noise where we're going. Always keep these around just in case I want to lure monsters on purpose. Almost never end up doing so. Let's also double check our inventory here, make sure I didn't completely miss us picking something up. Another source of RN is not too bad. 2 different spirit amulets. This one at least gives willpower. So that could be a swap out for this ice ring. That's not too bad. Also, I just realized Sticky Flame was on my list. I'm going to learn Sticky Flame. It's a relatively quiet spell. Take a look here. It's only a bit loud, and it definitely does wonders for taking out those Starcurse masses if they become a truly outrageous issue. If you haven't tried it out yourself before, essentially each time they split and they re-merge together, they will always share the Sticky Flame, and so you're able to slowly infect the entire batch, or relatively quickly infect the entire batch of masses in a nice straightforward way. We'll probably keep this amulet on. Regen is really good, and of course that int plus 10. Nothing to sneeze at either. Is 3 inventory slots enough? I mean, probably. I guess Amnesia we probably won't be using while down there. Can drop those, even though I'm hoping we don't live to regret it. Oh my gosh, we have an unidentified potion? Hold up. Do we have an identified scroll on this floor? We do indeed. What are you, friend? That's our first ambrosia. Huh, that's wild. Oops, cycled through by accident. Let's head back to the Abyss Gate. I mean, we probably won't end up immolating. Multiple other things here probably won't be used. They might, but they might. And we have 17 mutation potions, so we should be able to run the gauntlet of mutation roulette fairly easily. So without further ado, let's head in, shall we? Gonna start with just a wee bit of auto exploring. Though I generally like to turn off right away because the constant changing effect that we see in the Abyss here causes your character to just consistently run in circles instead of actually exploring new territory, which is not what we're looking for, obviously. But this should be a nice influx of gold as well as potentially items too. So that's pretty sweet. And ideally we can just use statue form throughout the majority of these fights. Save all of our magic for when things get truly dire. Don't have good fire defenses. Oops. Let's definitely bring back statue form as soon as we can. But not having fire defenses shouldn't be the end of the world, and indeed we do manage to take out the Hellhounds themselves. Just give me a gate downward, please. Hey, that works too. Thanks, game. Right when I asked for it too. We got plunged deeper into the Abyss. I will happily take that. Now we just have to go down one more floor before we could get the opportunity to potentially find the Rune Vault itself. World Binder, let's just run away from if they didn't notice us, and it definitely seems like they didn't at the very least. Not too bad here. Okay, well, extra slow, it's a real pain in the butt to try and follow the Thrashing Horrors, since they have what is usually referred to as bat movement in the game, because it does come from how the early bat creatures behave. That's at least where you see the most of it experienced. If just because every run gets to see D1, but not every run gets to see some of these later sections. Let's see, a gate out of the Abyss. Another day I would be overjoyed to see you, friend, but not this day. This day we have one goal, and we will succeed. So onwards we go. Ooh, a health potion. Don't mind if I do. I'll instantaneously take that. Wait a turn as this buddy tries to trample us. Wait a few turns for that smoke to clear. Perfect. I don't think I need that spell book. Dang it. I did want that summoning scroll though. That would have been nice. But it is what it is. Oof. Fireball. This has pretty quickly deteriorated a slight amount. Let's just try and kill the wizard. Don't manage to immediately. That's too bad. Do have time to heal though, and as long as we're next to the wizard and they're not invisible, we should be fine. The non-invisible part, of course, just referring to the fact that if they can't see themselves, they do seem to firebomb their own body sometimes. Had multiple wizards accidentally kill themselves before I get the opportunity. Oh, that was a shapeshifter. Who knew? Gateway deeper into the Abyss. But I do want the Holy Scroll. Even though we're risking getting teleported, I do think it's worth it here. Then we'll pop down, and now we're on the lookout for the Rune Vault. If you haven't been here for any of our previous Abyss attempts for the third rune, there's a little specific green tile that indicates the Rune Vault. So you don't actually have to just stumble upon the rune itself, seeing as how it'd be very difficult to do so. And instead, we can just hope to get lucky. Let's get rid of the ice ring to fight a Balrog just in time for that fireball to come down. You know what? You're also fire, so why the heck not? We also managed to be standing on top of a gate, so if things start to go truly poorly here, we can just get out. It's always better to bail than to die at the very least. Let's put this ring back on. This might be a manifold assault time. There are just far too many slimes. If we take a look, it is a bit loud, so we are going to be calling a wee bit of attention to ourselves. But as long as we have enough magic to recast statue form when that happens, then it's a-okay in my books. And let's just manually move away. I'm not going to bother picking up the gold. We're here on a mission. We're just gonna keep walking. Just keep walking. Take out the ancient lime thing first, just so that we are able to regenerate health over the course of the fight. Perfect. Transformation is almost over. Let's recast that. Water does not guarantee the rune. It's not like the rune tiles that we mentioned earlier, but I like to check out each and every special environmental thing that we see when down here, because you never know when it might be a unique looking vault area. Who summoned you? Interesting. Let's throw out a couple manifold assaults here, just trying to clear the air. More confusing a situation gets, the more likely we are to miss something or completely forget to account for anything in particular. You're a pain in the butt. This will be another good manifold assault chance just to take out the summoner as soon as possible. Just hide around corners while we try and regenerate as much magic as we possibly can. Let's get out of sight, that buddy. Sometimes are teleported next to monsters. Not the best, but also not the worst effect that we can get, especially since it is just a temporary mutation. Let's kill the orange brain as soon as possible. Again, we will waste a decent little chunk of magic points there just to play it slightly safer. The Nethack can definitely be forced to walk towards us here. Another gateway, hey? This one leading deeper, it looks like. Don't sicken me. Perfect. Ooh, Nethack. There are indeed monsters nearby. I did not see you lovely folk up there. There we go. Take them out. Still managing to prevent ourselves from gaining the sickness debuff as well, which is pretty sweet. We saw that there's most likely a I forget what they're called. Devas are the good, the angel-y ones. The evil ones are called, dang it, I am blanking. Regardless, we saw the Umbra, as it's called, the aura that they project, just up above there, so we will avoid running into that. There's also Nethack coming our way, so let's pop around a corner here, heal up, and just keep heading the direction we were heading, hoping that we find a rune vault eventually here. Especially, we don't want to get pulled deeper if possible. Ideally, we can just stay right on Abyss 3 here, happy where we are in life. Don't force lance me. Perfect. We're getting a nice chunk of change here. In fact, this is in general going better than I would have imagined. And it does make me realize that if we ever just need money and we're not quite comfortable trolling our way through Pan, it is always a possibility to just make our way through the abyss like this. And we wouldn't be going this deep, obviously. And after we get the rune, there are always much greater odds that portals that lead out appear. And so we can definitely try and use that to our advantage to just farm up a nice chunk of change. Make sure we're statue formed up. Let's head back into our nice little hallway that we'd made. Again, we have a gateway out if things start to go sour here. It's always a big advantage to have. As much as we do not wish it to be so. We also have no fire resistance, which does make even just the fog that those buddies create a little bit sketchier than it otherwise might be. And we're slowly but surely gaining a whole bunch of bad things here. Minus 20% HP and minus 30%. Potions cannot restore, and we lose the ability to read scrolls. Let's try and get rid of those as soon as possible. Ideally, before we get to the rune vault, because I do not want to have all those downsides. or the rune itself here. Ooh, fetibuses aren't a thing whatsoever, so we can just slowly but surely crawl our way, or rather claw our way through all the summons there. Ooh, dead end. Anytime you find a dead end in the abyss, you can of course just wait some time and it will disappear, but oftentimes I like to continue to explore, just so we're not losing too many turns doing nothing at the very least. There we go. These are the tiles that we were talking about. So it's been a while since we got randomly teleported, which makes me afraid that we're going to get randomly teleported. But one can at least hope here. Yeah, you're gonna do some stuff to us. What did you do? We got very frail again here. And an angel appears. Not the good kind either. Well, guess we're just gonna fight you the old-fashioned way. Try and take these buddies out. Maybe mix in the occasional manifold assault here, especially since we don't want to become mutated too far. Let's actually go for an early potion petition as well. Haste, heal wounds, and brilliance is awesome. We'll definitely grab those right away. Spatial buddies are a pain in the butt, but we definitely don't want to get hit by this. The Lurking Horror does unfortunately just give a painful torment effect. Oh, Fons, hey? A bolt of fire. Oof. I don't really want to lose my willpower in our current predicament, so I think I'm going to take a potion of resistance to try and half that damage. Then let's take another look at these. They have not great odds to evade us, so we should be able to take them out with just a few manifold assaults. That's at least the plan here. And there's the Lurking Horror again. So do you know what? One more manifold assault will probably... Ooh, I thought it would kill the Lurking Horror. No, I guess I don't want to walk into that cloud. What else is in here? Oh, another Lurking Horror. That's not good. As well as a few cherubs here. How well can we deal with you kiddos? Also not too bad. We just have to get this rune, and then we can teleport out of here. %chance to evade our pause. 3% chance to evade our pause. Wow, that means the last Lurking Horror was on our screen for Manifold Assault. And we must have missed them, because they only have 1 health. Wild. Well, time to get tormented. We're slightly better off than the majority of characters, if just because we are in statue form, which gives us partial torment resistance, which is awesome. Let's close the door behind us. Don't want to get snuck up on, and a lot of these buddies don't have hands, so I don't think that they can open the doors. You can hit us very hard. So I'm going to box of beasts. Try and keep you distracted here. And maybe we'll also drink a health potion, so it's just not possible for us to die in one shot. And please, we did it. Okay, and that's 5 runes down. So we have all of the basic runes now. I probably just want to teleport out of here. Oh, we plunged deeper into the abyss. Okay, that's not quite as good, but not the end of the world. As soon as we see a gateway out, we're able to just go full retreat here. And as mentioned earlier, because we have the rune in our possession, it actually makes us more likely to both find a gate naturally by exploring around, and also for one to appear on any kill. So we shouldn't have too much trouble, or at least historically. This is the relatively easier part. I want to put in a lot of qualifiers there so that we don't absolutely curse ourselves into oblivion. But we should be in a better position here. That was an angel or something that way. Don't really want to fight an angel. Oh, I guess I won't have to as we get teleported to another region of the abyss. Not too bad. And come on, buddy. Give me a gate. Give me a gate, sir. Do want manifold assault time. Just a little bit. Trying to fleece out some of the damage before they manage to come at us. Well, in full force here. It's the combination of words we were going for. Sometimes it takes the old noggin a little bit to get there. Did you see me, Starcursed Mass? Well, maybe you didn't, so let's walk this way. Ideally, we won't get too many temporary mutations before getting out of here. At least be nice if we could. Starcursed Mass. Wait, did I? No, I don't think I missed a gate. Never know, but... And there we go. Gateway leading out appears. Let's just immediately take it. There's no need to play it risky here. And holy moly, there we have it. We got the 5 starter runes here, which means we're just about on the cusp of heading off into the truly extended game, as we'll be going through for the other 10 here. I know for me personally, I actually prefer Pandemonium over Hell. I think that might be the popular opinion, but I also know that there are very much players who understand the Hells really well, and they enjoy the fact that Hell is always completely escapable. At a moment's notice, you can just zippity-doo-dah your way out of there, so that's definitely one of the advantages to going that route first. But Pandemonium gives us a bit more control. We don't have to worry about the random Hell effects hitting us over and over again. And on top of that, you can get a lot of good loot there. Anything except for unrand darts can show up in Pandemonium, so you can get all the consumables, a bunch more gold as well, and what have you. Of course, one of the only dangers, or not the only dangers, that's very much underplaying the area in general, but one of the main dangers in Pan is that each time you enter a new floor of Pan, you are placed into a random spot, so you never know when you're going to be put right next to the Pan Lord in the middle of a vault full of enemies, or somewhere safe off to the side. And on top of that, you also are not able to leave Pan anytime you want. You can't do it with a snap of the fingers. You unfortunately have to get lucky enough to find an exit gate, which has no guarantee, or an abyss gate. If you go out into the abyss, you'll actually, upon leaving the abyss, return to the normal dungeon, which, after getting the abyssal rune, is a little bit easier to manage, which shouldn't be too hard for us to do if we need to escape on short notice. And the last thing that we'll mention today, before moving on about Pan, is that I know there was one other thing that I immediately forgot upon prefacing it. Isn't that fun? Can't control where you go. Can't leave. And hopefully I remember it next time. Or while we do the rest of the little overview here, because... oh me, oh my, that's embarrassing. It was so clear just a second ago. On the other side of things, Hell is, yeah, fairly straightforward. You're just going to be deep diving through most of the levels, or we are rather, and ideally just fighting the lords that are at the very bottom, if we even fight them. If we so desire, we can also just try and ninja the runes and get the heck out of there. I did also, for a brief moment, remember my Pan fact. And then it's gone again. Oh, right. The other thing, and the last thing about Pan, which I finally have re-encapsulated in my brain sphere here, is that upon entering one of the domains of these main lords of Pan, you have to do all your work there. You can't leave and come back later. You have to finish it, or else that rune is locked out forever. Besides one of them. I think the Dark Rune? No. The Demonic Rune. It's one of these two. They have names that are too similar, so I forget which is which. but there is one of the runes of Pan that has a variety of potential floors that it can show up on, a variety of different makeups, and that one you can always come back to later, which is a bit easier. But for the 4 main Pan Lords, it's full commitment. As soon as we enter that realm, we're going to have to deal with it, which means we're going to want to put ourselves in a position to be able to fight each and any one of them, because if we can't fight a specific one, chances are, knowing my luck, we're going to run straight smack dab into that buddy immediately, and then it's going to be a bit of a struggle. Fortunately, we do have Maxwell's capacitive coupling, or we will by the time we go there. Did I end up learning that? Not yet, but we will definitely learn that before we head there. And ideally, we'll just be one-shotting, evaporating Pan Lords into vapor left and right. That's the plan anyway. Though nothing is guaranteed, and we'll have to see how it goes. Last of all, there's of course Tomb, which we'll see how that goes. Hopefully by then we'll have Necromutation up. That's the plan anyway, and then we might have a chance to just steamroll our way through, blasting everything into oblivion. But all of that fun goodness and horrifying predicament is going to have to wait for the next session here, because unfortunately it is getting pretty late here. I do have to run off, but we made good progress today, getting the rest of the basic runes, and I'm excited to just be able to, if not jump right into the extended late game next time, we're at least a lot closer. We might go through Crypt, just see if there's any really good treasure there that we're leaving behind. Alternatively, we might call in a jewelry shop or two if we're feeling slightly underprepared. And last of all, we'll probably enter the gateway to hell and take on the guardian there, who I'm blanking on the name of. Starts with a G. It's the 3-headed lizard man's. Anyway, oh, Garion? It's Garion or something like that. Not sure how to pronounce it, but have a few quick things to prepare at the start. But otherwise, we're going to be deep in the thick of it, trying our very best to bring COVID-91 the cat through to the extended late game. It's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be panic mode after panic mode, I'm sure. The last couple times that I remember going for 15 runes, it's been a bit of a wild adventure to say the least. Many near-death calls, but those times I didn't have extra lives at my disposal. So maybe, just maybe, we'll have a shot here and it won't completely cause me to run away with my tail between my legs. But anyway, this, as mentioned, is going to be the end of tonight. I definitely had a whole lot of fun through the thick and the thin here with some of the horrendous terrors that we've encountered, and managed to just barely squeak by the edge of our stone teeth here. We have somehow only lost 1 death per session, which is wild to me. I'm hoping we can keep up that kind of pattern, because that is something I can definitely get behind. But we'll have to see. Not this next Tuesday, because unfortunately, if you weren't here for the end of my Sunday stream, I will be out of town for a little bit coming up here. But I'm guessing it will be in a couple of weeks that we'll be jumping back into it. There might be a small chance that we're able to fit in a stream somewhere or another. I might even try streaming from up north, but internet isn't quite as good as down here, and I'll only have my laptop, so it will be something a bit more silly and fun, and probably not continuing this run. In fact, we will not be continuing this run, because I will leave this save file sacrosanct on this computer, waiting for us to come back. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. At least I didn't die as much as I usually do, so that's pretty sweet. I hope that doesn't make too much of an impact, because I know I'll die many times in the future, and it's all part of the game here, at least as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, if you did enjoy and you want to catch on for the next streams here, tomorrow we're going to be jumping in, starting up Wildermyth for the first time, getting to learn what that game's all about, hopefully getting a good enough grasp on it that I can potentially play it with some friends online in the future here, and on stream as well, which is the plan there. Or on this Thursday, when we're throwing in a bit of an extra stream in our Win with Every Species situation, or that's not the word I'm looking for, our Win with Every Species series, as it were, because I would really like to get a good Palantonga run in before I head out. Might not be able to finish it, might have another thread left for another day, but I'm at least going to move the usual Sunday stream onto this Thursday, get in a few streams before we go, get in as much time with all of you lovely folks. And yeah, otherwise, it'll be a couple of weeks, and I'm excited to jump back into it then. And hopefully it goes as smoothly as it did today. At least one can only dream. As for the final bits of the stream tonight, let's do the usual quick check. See if there's anybody online in our list here that we can send a raid on over to. Just loading up. Unfortunately, even though we every once in a while are adding new people to raid to our list here, we are at a lack of a raiding victim. I don't know if victim is the right word. It usually has negative connotation with it. So if any of you lovely folk in chat have somebody that you really appreciate and you think is a good fit for what we usually do here, and all the viewers that are watching us now might enjoy being moved over to, definitely suggest it in the chat while we do the last little bit of sign off here. I'll even stick around on the end screen if need be. But if not, that's all good too, and I'll just let everyone go at their own pace. You can all go back to your favorite streamers, whoever that may be. And yeah, regardless, I definitely appreciate you all so much for taking the time out of your day, spending it with me in this lovely game that I so much enjoy. And I hope to see you some more in the future as well. But regardless of all that, I obviously do hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you out there. And I hope to see you next time. I'll see you soon. See ya.